Guess who's back? Ned from Try Guys. It's been 3 years since he was caught in a scandal cheating with his producer, of all people, his goddamn producer. Now, cheating is one thing. A lot of people get away with that, especially men. They get away with that. But the issue was Ned was a white knight. He always exalted his wife, always said she was the best thing ever, and always showed her on camera and was always doing some kind of pick me kind of activity for his wife. So it was such a jarring experience to see that he was out here publicly. This was at a party, not even something private like, oh, come to my room, whatever. But publicly, he was out here cheating on his wife with his producer, who was significantly younger, I think. That's crazy. But he has a podcast now, and he has his wife on the podcast. He had this released 2 days ago. Where was I? Why didn't I know about this? Why didn't you guys tell me? Let's just jump into this, man. Well, I like the title, Rockbottom with Ned Fulmer. At least he is well aware.
Hi, I'm Ned Fulmer.
Hi, Ned. I'm Dante.
3 years ago, I cheated on my wife with my producer.
Yeah, we know.
It became a massive public scandal that caused a lot of pain to a lot of people. I know that I represented myself as a kind of wife guy.
Represent is an understatement. You were drowning in it. That's what you were. Your whole personality was the wife dude. Your whole personality, brother.
Who talked about his relationship and put that out there for public consumption. And you, as a viewer, I know that I broke your trust.
I never trusted you to begin with.
I betrayed my spouse.
There we go. That's
Cool.
the more important thing is your spouse. Fuck what other people think. You should have started off. You betrayed your wife's trust. That's what it should have started off with, and anything else will come after.
Friends, family, and I betrayed you. And I know it's not just about cheating. That I was a company owner, and
I also want you guys to be aware that the Try Guys themselves, they were just regular guys who BuzzFeed brought up. They weren't like hyper beautiful, hyper athletic, hyper popular people when they started off. They were just a regular, everyday person that you see around. And that's why people were attached to them and they loved them so much. So it was a huge hit to find out that he was involved in this scandal. And they had a hardcore fan base. The Try Guys, they had a very hardcore fan base. So I can just imagine how much freaking backlash he got from this.
having a relationship with a producer who's engaged and friends with all of our friends and coworkers.
She was engaged? She was engaged? That's news to me. That's even worse.
It was understandably a messy and devastating situation for everyone involved. And I was the cause of it. I did that. And I can't change it. I can't change the past.
You only move forward.
Own it and accept it.
Yeah.
And try to change how I show up differently in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to say that I'm sorry. I hurt you. And I hope to make amends over time. And one step is to publicly witness the pain of my partner, Ariel.
Publicly witness it?
This is a conversation with Ariel in this video. It's painful at times. It's honest, vulnerable, brutal. But it's necessary for her to move forward, and I'm grateful for the chance to witness it.
It's necessary for her? Did she say this?
As disappointed as we were that something so private and painful became such a public spectacle, I get why people were so outraged, and I understand that that is the reason that she can't move forward with any sort of public thing without addressing this.
Okay.
So this is that.
Makes sense.
This is
Right.
a conversation where we answer your questions. We share what we've been up to these last 3 years and what you can expect from us moving forward. It's about an hour long, and I know that from my perspective, I want to tell stories of curiosity and empathy, and I want them to be meaningful and have value in people's lives. So I hope that you find this impactful. So please join me for this conversation with Ariel Fulmer.
Well, here we are.
Back
at
again.
it again. It feels weird. It feels a little awkward.
Yeah.
A little.
Back in a podcasting room.
Yeah.
I mean, we've certainly had a lot of conversations where we've sat like this,
Yeah, that's true.
but not, conversations that are meant for the public.
Mm-hmm. Is it strange to think that people are watching this and listening to it rather than just being in like a therapy setting?
Oh, heck yeah. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm on the verge of standing up and walking out of this room.
I wonder what's the emotions that's running through her right now. Anger, sadness, embarrassment. I think embarrassment first of all. But it's been 3 years. You would think she probably healed from it.
Absolutely.
Same.
I'm like, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing? But no, I feel like this is a necessary thing.
Yeah, we've kind of been just keeping our lives very private for the last 3 years.
We have.
And just almost hiding from the world.
We've been hiding. We've been hiding from the world. And I'm not going to lie, it's been kind of great.
Mm-hmm.
It's been kind of great to be super private.
And it's ironic because we don't stop becoming recognizable figures. People still come up to us, people still recognize us. And to the extent that we're kind of moving forward in our lives, that's something that you've talked about. It's like, how can I move forward in my life without people knowing the next part of my story if they're still stuck on the 2022 part of my story?
That's kind of the thing, isn't it?
I'm hearing a lot of we, our, and just partnership talk. I wonder if they're still together. Well, he hasn't. I don't know if in the beginning if he still mentioned his wife, if he said my wife, or he said ex-wife. I don't think they're divorced.
And that's the whole reason that we're here, because we're stuck in 2022.
Yeah, at least as far as they know.
Exactly. we have moved on with our lives.
Yeah, we've moved on for a while
We
now.
have moved on with our lives. But like, as far as everybody else is concerned, we're still stuck in 2022.
Yeah.
And, that brings us to the whole reason that we're here and the reason that we can't walk out of this room, because we live in a social world, right? And we can't move on with our lives if we don't, move on publicly.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. I just think it's quite ironic that you're saying you moved on with your life, then you're saying again you can't move on with your life. You've done it for 3 years already. I don't think you guys need any public, like the public court of opinion has already made their verdict. That's a cheater and the such. Now, does that affect your private life so much that you need the public court of opinion to change, or let's say not even change, to recognize the change that you've had? I'm talking about Ned. The wife is a whole nother story. Ariel is a whole nother story. But all I'm trying to say is, I think it would have been much smarter to stay or keep your life private. Now, it's a bit different in the business side of things if they're both trying to get something going with like social media or YouTube or whatever. And clearly that might be the case because he's made a whole YouTube channel and podcast series around this topic, around growth, around change, around making mistakes. So in that sense, I understand why you want the public to not change their mind, but at least be aware of your change.
Like publicly reestablish the context of who we are, how we relate to each other after being so public with our relationship before.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a really strange thing, actually. Like that we can't do anything publicly without kind of addressing this first.
well, yeah. I mean,
It's not strange.
in 2022,
It can be considered strange because you had your wife and life front and center. Of course, you can't do anything public. You've been gone for 3 years, and the last thing they remembered you by was your cheating scandal. It's not that strange, brother. It's just common sense. But you're doing the action now. You're trying to change that. So I digress again.
sort of, it got so big, right? The whole scandal, it grew and grew and grew and grew, to the point where it just became this thing that just like got so much bigger than us.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just sort of hid away from it, you know?
Same.
And going completely dark was the only thing that I could think to do. And for the last 3 years, I've just hidden behind the scandal, you know? And now, like, now I can't get out from behind it.
Yeah, because it's a big step to like sit down and do what we're doing and to talk about it.
Right. But even like going out in public with like my kids or just going out to dinner or something like that,
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that people see is the scandal.
Yeah. It's a big loss.
It's a big loss, but it's a really strange way to go about your normal life. You know, like I am a human who has needs. Like I want to have regular friends, and I don't want to like walk up to somebody that I want to be friends with at like preschool and have to start every conversation with like, my personal life is a dumpster fire, as I'm sure you know, but also, do you want to be friends with me? You know, like, I'm not gonna lie, I have some really authentic friendships that have started that way. But like, I don't want to go about my life starting friendships like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of want the new friends to know the context of like who you currently are as a
Yes,
person.
exactly.
I remember I have met some people like made new friends or kind of introduced myself to strangers. And it's like, oh, let's exchange Instagrams. I'm like, well,
Right?
here's mine, but couple of caveats. One, I have a lot more followers than you might expect. Two, all of this is pretty outdated. And three, don't Google me.
Don't Google
Don't
me.
Google me.
You
Just
probably don't want to
Get
Google
to know me
me.
first. Yeah.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
you don't want to be just sort of seen as the sum of your mistakes for me or the sum of your past for you.
Right.
And the challenging thing is it's been complicated for a while. I mean, we are still friends. We have children together. We go on trips together.
Right.
Like, you know, there's a spectrum of being together, not together.
Right.
Like there's ways in which we're together, but it's like the way that everyone wants to know, like, are you guys still like an item? Are you guys still a couple? Like, no. We really haven't been at all this last 3 years.
No, we haven't.
So there's the answer. They've been broken up. Well, I'm guessing they're just living in the family unit.
There's moments when we kind of tried, but just because you go to a Taylor Swift concert together doesn't mean that you're, you know, that
Doesn't mean
all
that
is
you're
forgiven
together.
and you're.
No, like people ask me, like, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no. Absolutely not. How can you forgive somebody for lying to you, for cheating on you? No.
Publicly
Fuck no.
too.
Like,
Damn.
I don't even.
There's no words.
It's. Sorry, I saw red for a minute. It's like, no, the answer is no. But also I feel like forgiveness isn't the goal at this point. You know, we've been together for a long time. And you are the father of my two beautiful children. And we know each other really well. And I you know, we've worked through a lot of stuff. And the fact that I can be around you and still like have a good time and like enjoy spending time with you and enjoy spending time with my kids, like, I think that's a win.
Yeah. It's taken a lot of hard work to do that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, as we've adjusted, we've recalibrated our relationship more towards a platonic friendship, and then, you know, it's just been challenging. But like, I think we're getting to a point of sort of celebrating that and really like embracing it and accepting it for what it is, as we're like grieving the past. And, you know, it's hard to hear you saying like, fuck no, I don't forgive you. But of course I get it. I mean, you're still, as much progress as we've had, you're still very angry.
Yeah, of course I'm angry. You know,
I can still see there's love between them. Still allow the guy to see his kids. That alone is a blessing for him. Honestly. They got a lot of stuff to work through. It's going to take years. 3 years is nothing. 3 years goes by in a flash. Look how fast it went by for us. Now they're living in it. 3 years must be super long. 3 years of anger, 3 years of shame, 3 years of people still asking you, hey, wasn't your husband the one who cheated on you publicly? 3 years of dealing with that weighs down on the person. I don't think there's a way you can ever forgive someone completely.
We're talking about like not having sat in this position for 3 years, you know, and like, yeah, of course I'm still angry. We lost a lot. There was a lot that happened 3 years ago. It was, I mean, I found out about your affair from the fans. I mean, and I was so blindsided that somebody sent me a picture, and I couldn't. It was like my brain couldn't compute, and I it's like for some reason I didn't see what was actually there in the picture. I thought it was your sister. And I remember sending it to you and being like, what's your sister doing in New York?
Damn.
It was, and I think back on that and I think like, what was I, like, how did I not see what was going on? Like, what?
Not even just like the picture they sent her then and there. She's probably also saying, how did she not see the signs? I think that's what she's most relating to. It's like when you really like someone, you don't notice their red flags, you don't notice their flaws, or you minimize their flaws. And she's been with this dude for decades probably, and they've had 2 kids. Now for a fan to send her a picture to send them a picture of him allegedly cheating, of course her first thought is not, oh, this is true. It's going to be the next thing that she wants to believe. So that's understandable. I don't blame you for that at all, Ariel. I don't blame you at all. But you're probably talking more about how did you not see the signs all along. Those signs can be hidden. People are slick. People are sneaky. People will show you what they want to show you till they get caught.
What was so fucked up in my brain that I couldn't actually see what was happening in this picture? Like, the picture was right there in front of me. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then the pieces just started falling and falling and falling, and like and then more pictures started coming in, and more pictures and more pictures and more pictures.
Damn.
And it is so wild how we live in this world where everything is so public.
Everyone has a choice to decide how public they want their life to be. But I understand what you mean. In your situation, everything is public. I understand that.
You don't realize it, but everybody's taking pictures of you everywhere you go. And it's kind of scary, actually. And it makes you realize that whenever you leave your house, you're like, you're not safe. You know?
Shit, even in your own house, you're not safe.
And it kind of like, and then after everything
Not to scare you guys or
happened, I sort of went into this like this weird state where like nothing was safe.
Yeah.
And nothing and nobody, like I couldn't trust anybody. I couldn't trust the public. I couldn't trust you. I couldn't trust my friends. I just stayed inside, like
Paranoia.
because there were cameras everywhere.
Paranoia.
You know, it was like,
So it sounds like paranoia.
oh, it was so unsafe. Everything was unsafe.
Ugh.
Yeah, it
Soothing.
took a long
She's
time
soothing
to-
herself now.
To like get back to myself.
How did having it become such a public scandal kind of change everything for you? Did it make it worse? Did it make it easier? Did it just sort of make it surreal?
It was so many different things.
Hmm.
And it was all tied in together too. You know, I think that, and it all, it's like the trauma of discovering that you've been, that like everything that you know isn't real. And then add to it this other part where you're sort of being you're being watched by cameras, which isn't something that's like a part of our lives. Like, yes, we are somewhat public figures, but like we've never had cameras waiting outside of our house. Like that's not something that we're used to. Like we're not like celebrities. That's not that's not a part of our lives. And this was a period in our lives where we had like there was like a car following us.
Oh,
and
what?
It was really strange because we had just, you know, found out that we were dealing with this, you know, with this cheating situation, with this betrayal. We decided to find a new couples therapist, right?
Right.
And so we were driving to our new couples therapist, and so we were in the car together because we decided to drive together, and you decided you needed a snack, and so you had a Tupperware with you, and I had my jug of water, and we got in the car together because we were like, well, why don't we drive together? We're going to the same place. And so we get in the car, and we were driving there, and so you're like eating your apple as you're driving, and I turned to you and I was like, Ned, I think there's a car following us. Like I'm pretty sure this car has followed us from our house. And you were like, oh, that's weird. Like, I wonder what that could be, you know? And then when we park outside of the couples therapist's office, and we see that this car has a camera, it was like, I think that person just took a picture of us. And so we went inside and we talked about it a little bit, and then we had our therapy session, and then we came out, and then there were multiple people outside, and it was probably one of the strangest situations that I personally have ever been in. I did not know what to do with my face. And so my reaction when I don't know what to do with my face is I smile.
Yeah.
That is my go-to reaction when I don't know what to do with my face. I just smile like an idiot.
That was my reaction too.
I smile like I, you know, like a cat. You know, I just smile. And so
this is the video that everyone saw.
That everyone saw. And
like leaving couples therapy.
We're leaving couples therapy.
Oh, it must have been tough. Being the talk of the town and people following you, taking pictures without your permission. Imagine how long that person was outside, staked out their house, just waiting on them to leave. Ugh, the stalker vibes. Ooh.
looking at each other like we don't have a care in the world. And it is because we are absolutely just beyond like this is so bizarre. What is happening right now? This has never happened in our lives ever. We don't know what's going on. Like, let's just get to our car. You know, and we're just like, just smile, like, they're not gonna hurt us. Who are these people? Everything's fine. Oh my goodness, yeah. That was the strangest situation. It was so bizarre.
I remember our
been.
neighbors during that time were doing some roof repair work, and so there was this like
There's like a construction
unmarked
van.
white van outside of our house, and it was parked there for like weeks. And we had it in our heads that it was a paparazzi van, and
It absolutely was not. But it was like the strangest thing. I
but
thought.
just for weeks, anytime you walk out the door, being like, "Oh, there's a van."
Yeah. That was really strange.
I can see how that caused you to really feel unsafe and mistrusting of the whole world.
Yeah, I can see it too.
Just want to acknowledge that and just note that it's like because of things I did that caused you to
It's taking
experience
responsibility.
Yeah.
that. What was that moment like when everything changed for you?
Awful, obviously. It was kind of surreal. You know, I thought to myself, like, what would somebody who's been cheated on, like, what would somebody in a movie do?
Really?
You know, I don't know. I wasn't thinking like of a specific movie or something like that. I was thinking like, what would, like, what do people do in this situation? You know, like, I wasn't thinking of I wasn't thinking for myself. I was thinking like what do I do next? And I remember we were in New York.
Big New York,
and you just
hey.
picked me up from the airport. And I was so like naively. So you were driving a rental, and I just naively looked over to you in the driver's seat, and I was like, why was Grace in New York? Like, I didn't realize Grace was in New York. Why was she, referring to that picture that I had sent to you? And you looked over at me with this look on your face, and it was like the veil just fell, like this. Like I knew in my brain that something was going on, but I just sort of refused to believe it. And then when I saw that, like, just wildly guilty look on your face, like you wanted to tell me something, and I didn't even let you say anything. I was like, turn this car around.
So this was the moment that she realized that he was actually cheating, huh? That was the moment, a couple weeks afterwards. Very interesting. So she was in denial for a while.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember it happening like that, but it doesn't matter.
How do you remember it happening?
Oh, I mean, you asked me a couple of different follow-up questions as I just sort of answered them. And then, once I answered it in such a way that you knew exactly who it was and what had happened, then you were like, take me back to the airport.
Damn.
Yeah.
That part was very cinematic, if you were trying to be like in a movie.
Turn this fucking car around.
I mean, yeah, I think there was a lot of sort of delusions and rationalizations that you, as the person doing that, sort of are telling yourself as to why it's not so bad, or why it's gonna be okay, or why actually this talked about in this way. And then it's like, I remember that moment, it all just kind of like fell down, where I totally could see how devastated and just completely traumatized you were. And then it was just like, oh, everything changed for me as well. I'm like, oh no, this is like, I've been hurting this person that I love this whole time.
Ariel just don't give a damn.
You didn't realize until then.
Well, you
Damn.
know, but then there's other things you tell yourself to kind of sort of compartmentalize, or I guess.
Oh,
Interesting.
wow.
It's sort of a,
This is real. This is not even like some acting shit. This is some real people, real problems. Your action have consequences. You have to realize that. You've hurt a family. Attention can freaking split the moon in half. Oof.
you know, it's like a addictive cycle, kind of feeling really guilty and ashamed, and then telling yourself the ways in which it's, you know, kind of just lying to yourself. And then, yeah. And I did want to tell you, and there was probably a small part of me that was sort of relieved to not be keeping a secret, I guess. Is that hard for you to hear?
No, that part's not hard for me to hear.
It's a lie.
I think it's, I've done a lot. I've spoken a lot with other betrayed partners over the last 3 years, and it's something that I've heard a lot.
Some bullshit.
This idea of like when
Let me just scratch my nose real quick.
there's this sense of relief when the partner who's doing the betraying is able to finally tell the betrayed partner that about all the things that they have been doing, and kind of put their shame onto the other partner.
Sharing the shame.
They, in that like sort of release of their like of all of that like
shame and
shame
guilt
and guilt that they've been holding. It's almost like they feel so much relief, but the partner then has to accept it. And that's exactly what happened. You know, when you told me, suddenly then I had to take all of that guilt and shame of your affair, and it was so much to carry, so much. Like, and I know that it, like, and you know, suddenly something that like you had that, and it, like the wild thing is that this was something that you had done.
Mm.
You know, like I had no part in this. This was not like, you could even say that you had done this to me,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, you could.
Like
You did.
Yeah.
I was the victim of this situation. And yet when you told me, I had to like accept your guilt and your shame. And in our like society where couples are, especially married couples, like when men have affairs, women are often looked at as like, well, what did you do wrong? And it is so hard to get out from under that. Of like, well, what did you do to make him look elsewhere?
This might be a radical take. People might not like this take, but I don't know if that's really the case where people, if anything, when you get cheated on, you get the benefit of the doubt. You get the benefit of the doubt. I don't think it's true that, how can I say this? I don't necessarily think it's true that if you get cheated on as a woman, most people say, well, what did you do wrong? I think it's a given and it's known that, all right, he had a wandering eye. He couldn't control himself. I think that's the geist of that, man. But I can see where she's coming from. She's been the victim. She's lived through this. She's had to deal with this on her end. You can only see the world through your eyes, through so much. But objectively, I think when you get cheated on, regardless of the gender, whoever did the cheating is the one that is berated and said to have the issues. You know?
You know, were you not a good enough wife? Were you not, did you not make him happy enough? You know?
I think those questions that she's asking right there are more so internal questions that people most likely ask themselves. It's not what other people or the public or whoever is, or society, whoever's pushing that agenda is asking them or telling them that why weren't you a better wife? You wouldn't look elsewhere. You're probably thinking after getting cheated on, why wasn't I good enough? Wasn't I the best? So I understand that. I can see where you're coming from, Ariel.
So much shame there. And I'm so tired of holding that.
Let it
I'm
out.
so tired of holding it. How does it make you feel to hear that? I mean, did it ever occur to you that like not only did you having an affair just it shattered our marriage, but it also, like, all of that guilt and shame, you like hoisted that on me. Like, you gave that to me. And now I have to carry that around for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair that as a society you're put in that position. It's certainly not true. And no, it's not something that I imagined as I was doing that. I think none of it was. If you really like let it sink in just how much you're hurting your partner.
Wrong answer, bud. Maybe he can reel this back. I don't think she cares in the sense of you trying to play the white knight. Oh, I don't think it's good that society thinks this. But you being the perpetrator, your first course of action should be apologizing and speaking about the weight you've made her bear. I was stupid enough in the moment to not imagine how much pain this would bring you, and I am truly sorry for all this pain that you've been hoisting. And I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing more than everyone to put that on me. I did the action. I take responsibilities. You are the victim in this situation. You did nothing wrong. You were an amazing wife. You got to reassure her that she was amazing. You know, something like that. Come on, Ned. Reel this back in. I believe in you, buddy.
And how devastating it is. Like, how could you do that? It's still very difficult now, even 3 years later, to see you in pain as you're talking about that. And I guess there's nothing I can do to change the past or to help.
It's kind of weird to think about it now, because I feel like I'm in a really good place now, and going back to like before I discovered the affair, it feels like going back to this weird fantasy world where like, I don't know, I thought we had this love that like transcended, I don't know.
She a lover girl, man. She just
But it was a
lover girl.
fantasy. It was like, you know, I trusted you so completely. And I mean, we grew up together. We got married when we were like in our early 20s.
Yeah.
We were babies. We had nothing. I mean, we moved out to LA with just our car full of stuff. I mean, I'm like tearing up just thinking about it. We were just kids. And it's like, it really was a fantasy. And I just think, how could you do that to me?
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
Have this image of people in our minds that we exalt them. We put them on a pedestal, especially someone we love. We think, oh, they could do no wrong. But the whole time they can do terrible things. They're human too. Their predisposition is to do wrong. And it sucks. It must suck for Ariel. She grew up with the dude. I wonder in her mind if she's thinking all these years just wasted, if she wasted her time. Could she have done better? Did she fuck up? Is she messed up? What was her decisions? Were her decisions right? I wonder if these other questions going through her head.
I'm so sorry.
Good answer.
Like, we had so much. There was so much had so much life left. We still have so much life left. I don't know why I'm crying.
I think it's like the loss of that dream that we both had.
Mm.
It felt like that in that time period for me too.
What happened?
He just wanted more. He was greedy. Temptation.
Well, the dream started to break apart for me, and then rather than being able to talk about it or to confront those feelings,
Cheated.
I wanted to. I guess I was too afraid to say how I was actually feeling, and it seemed, I don't know, I chose to deal with it and deal with like feelings that I was experiencing in a way that was really self-destructive and hurtful to you.
Very unhealthy way. Very unhealthy.
Mm.
And it wasn't like anything you did or like we had a bad marriage. It was about me and choices that I made and
There we go.
just actions that I took that I'll always regret. I'll always regret how much pain I caused you and other people. You know? And I'm deeply, deeply sorry. And I'll spend my whole rest of my life trying to make amends to you. And
I genuinely do think he's very sorry. I do think so. He's an amazing actor, one of the best, Oscar-worthy. Or he's just genuinely sorry. Now also, it's up to Ariel. And all power to her if she wants to forgive or not forgive. It's all power to her.
to, you know, show up differently, to lead a life of integrity, and to be a father that our children can learn from. Because you did nothing to deserve this, and I completely, suddenly, violently shattered our marriage, our relationship, and like everything you knew, and yeah, it was all my fault. It was all choices that I made.
So where do we go from here?
I mean, that's kind of how we've been, what we've been working on, I guess, over the last 3 years. We can make new promises to each other as as friends, as co-parents. What was the thing that kind of started changing things for you?
Maybe just time. Time and, I don't know, courage. And I mentioned making those authentic relationships, like finding those real friends.
Oh,
And they're like, I don't care that your life is messy. I really like you for who you are. I see your joy. I like every part of you.
yeah.
And I want to be a part of your life.
I guess that's where
I
that's where the shame comes in. She probably has shame every day. And it was hard for her to make friends, even if it really wasn't. All she had to do was say hi. But the weight of that shame prevented her from doing that. But to find friends who reassure you, regardless, that hey, this doesn't matter. You are an amazing person. It's such an amazing thing. It's such a strong thing. It's so essential to the development of a human being or development of getting out of that rut. Finding good friends are really a key to life.
Don't push me away. You know?
It was a real moment of kind of discovering who your real, true, authentic friends are, and
Yeah.
kind of then cherishing that, and those people that you can kind of be completely yourself with.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They're not just seeing a one-dimensional version of you.
Yeah, totally.
When did things start to feel a little more safe for you?
I think as I just got more comfortable talking to people about like what happened,
Yeah.
and they just seemed to not care.
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't a big deal.
It is kind of funny. It's like the whole, internet and people making TikToks seem to care so much. And then you meet anyone in real life, and it's like everyone has some way to relate to some sort of a cheating story.
Just like all the parents at Wes's school, or, they're like, either they don't know or they don't give a flying fuck. They're like, yeah, who cares? They're like,
That's the thing with social media. Social media is all about clicks, reactions. I'm doing a reaction. But it's all about clicks, and of course they're going to keep producing and putting in front of you the thing that gets the most drama, clicks, etc. So it's going to be a cycle, a machine that's going to keep showing, keep bringing it up. But in real life, no one got time for that. No one is their phone. No one, especially being at the grown age that they are, who cares? There's much deeper, much bigger problems out there that they got to deal with. They got to deal with rent. They got to deal with mortgage. They got to deal with their kids picking them up from school. They got to deal with this, that. Who cares if you got cheated on by your husband? Everyone gets cheated on. It is what it is, It's much bigger fish to fry for people.
it's one of many scandals. Like, also, it was 3 years ago. Like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's kind of how I feel. They're like, they're sort of like,
right, because when you're in
who
that school
cares?
environment, like there's a bunch of different types of families and parents, and some people are
Nobody
together, some
cares.
people aren't, and I'm sure every marriage or relationship has a story as to how
Right.
it breaks down.
like, it just gives you so much perspective.
Yeah.
It gives you so much perspective to just be in a group of people where nobody cares.
Yeah.
And it gives you, honestly, I think that is what gives me the courage to just be like, you know what? It's okay.
Right.
I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be okay.
sure will.
Like I can live in a world where this has happened, and people know, and also we've moved on.
Right.
Like I can go on dates and not have people be whispering about me.
Oh, talking about dates. So
I don't know.
bringing up dates. All right, Ariel. I see you being strategic here. Wonder how he's gonna react to that. Let's see if he keeps his composure.
I just imagine a world where I can just be myself and not have this thing following me around. You know, where I don't have to
No one's gonna care.
where maybe we are at a restaurant with our kids and I don't have to feel shame because I'm like, you know, having fun.
Right.
You know, where people are like, "Oh my God, are they back together?"
Right.
Just
right.
because I'm like having a joyful time with my kids and my ex-husband. You know, like,
Oh,
is that
okay. So they did get divorced. All right, that's my answer. They did get divorced. Ex-husband.
crime
Yeah.
to feel joy? Like,
Can I live?
can I live? You know,
Let them.
let them.
Let them. Let them. Yeah. 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 I mean, we're going to Greece together next week.
Right.
It's like life is weird sometimes.
Like, yes, like we travel together.
Y'all doing more than traveling.
We have a like a familial relationship.
Yeah. 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 It's we've like redefined our relationship not as partners that are romantic partners.
Yeah.
Those sort of like, you know, family or platonic partners and pals. If you want to say pals.
Family first.
I feel the same way that it was kind of the
That's what matters. It's amazing that regardless of all that's happened, they're still keeping the family unit together. I'm very proud of them for that. So much pain, so much public discourse, so much public shame, and they're still keeping their families together. There's a lot we can learn from them in that sense. It's a lot of families that get broken up over the smallest things. Smallest things. And they've gone through trials and trials and trials, and they're still keeping their family together. That's amazing, man.
social communities in school or wherever you are that you kind of just start to feel less alone.
Yeah.
Where, you know, somebody that's your friend or like another couple that you're friends with just will say like, you know, hey, like it was shitty what you did. And also everyone goes through hard times and you move forward the best you can. And whether you are together or not, or sort of together friendly but not romantically, like however you want to live your life as your family moving forward, that's like your business.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the same time, people looking on the outside can kind of feel that nonchalance, and on the inside it's like, what I did to you is one of the most devastating things I think that a person can experience.
Yeah, it's a slow killer.
Like I kind of I understand why, broadly speaking, these like scandals are such, you know, ignition points, because it's a lot of people can relate to it and a lot of people feel so much pain around it.
Yeah.
And it can be both.
It can be both, yeah.
And it can be both at the same time. It can be both at different times. And you know, it can be one thing one day and something different another day. You know, I have some days when I hate your guts. And
Yeah.
you know, and there are other days when I enjoy your company more than not.
Mm.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It can be both.
It can be both.
You know, some days are really sad because I feel the loss. But other days, I feel a lot of gratitude and joy for where we're at now.
Mhm.
Especially, I mean, our kids are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
And I mean, they're worth every cent we've spent on therapy. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, that's like a big reason why we're working so hard to rebuild.
I don't even know if I would call it rebuilding. I think we're building something new.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think you have to view it like that. The past is no longer.
Yeah.
Oh, burn that shit to the ground. I'm kidding.
My wife. It's very strange living and having a marriage while also having that be so like public facing.
Mm.
Did you ever feel that there was these like layers of like the public facing you versus the real you?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, and that was always a struggle for me because I felt like I wanted the two to be the same. You know, I always wanted to be one whole person. And I didn't want to be like an actor on camera and then another person in my real life. You know, and that's the funny thing about like being a YouTuber or being an influencer is people expect you to be one person.
Again, this is all on what you show to the world. Now, if you show you're always happy, you show you're always bombastic, you show you're always doing certain kind of things, of course people are going to believe you're that kind of person. Now, if you show you're more than just one dimension, you're 3-dimensional, you're 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 dimensional, you feel all these emotions, you do all these things, you have your ups and downs, you have your mistakes, then people are going to see that too. The issue was Ned conveyed this fantasy, as Ariel would call it, of him having the perfect wife, perfect family, and him having the perfect job with doing the Try Guys YouTube thing. That's gonna backfire. If there were moments in there where he showed the real part of life, where all right, he has issues with the guys, he has issues with his wife, depending on the kind of issues. Not everything has to be public, but just like little spats here and there, then people understand, all right, this is them, this is the real them, and they have more space to be themselves now, because people are expecting that. But if you show people over the course of years, months, one dimension of yourself, any sudden change is gonna make people question stuff, and you're gonna feel the pressure to keep doing that. So be yourself, genuinely be yourself
in your real life and on the internet. And then when you're not, then it's like, well, you're lying, you know? But I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, it's ironic because at the same time, I think what the internet wants from you is to be a one-dimensional character.
No.
How so?
Well, you know, I think you know, there's if you make TikToks as like a certain persona or doing a certain joke,
Okay, I see that.
if you deviate from that joke, oftentimes your like engagement will plummet. Like people kind of want to like just see, it's like, oh, it's like you're a stereotype. You're kind of like that person, and I guess I noticed that in my own work. It's like the things that consistently drew people in were adorable family posts or talking about my wife, and then producers lean into that and like craft situations for me, and over time it felt super pigeonholed and just like I had to fulfill this one like quadrant in a foursome to just be this like, you know, kind of caricature.
You were like put in a box.
Yeah, I think it's very hard to like be a full person with nuance on the internet. There's always sort of a performance layer.
So what are you going to do now that you're back on the internet?
It's a great question. I, for a long time, didn't want to return to the internet because I didn't see a way of. I didn't want to be myself. I didn't want to make anything. I didn't feel creative. And as time has moved on, I have a desire to create and to tell stories, but I don't really want it to be about myself as a character or myself or my relationship or my personal life.
Yep.
You know, I've always been drawn to things that make people curious and finding ways of connecting people with their interests. And so I came up with I don't know, I see myself more as like a host and more as just a vehicle for other people's stories. And I don't know, maybe I can, because of what I've gone through and my past, like connect with people and empathize with people.
There we go.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, you think you're interesting enough?
No, I don't.
You think other people?
I think
are
other people
interesting?
would be interesting. And then that's regardless of whether I think I'm interested. I don't want to talk about my personal life or my family. Like, I want to keep our children out of the spotlight. I want to keep our dating lives private. Like, it's not a good idea to, for my mental health at least, but I think also in general, to sort of make your whole life your brand.
Yeah.
I want to make stuff that helps people learn things, make stuff that helps people like empathize with others. And you know, the idea behind the podcast is to tell stories of other people's challenging times and how they overcame them. Because if there's one thing I noticed is that people really seem to care about the train wreck that I caused.
Would you say that was your rock bottom? Have you hit your rock bottom? Do you think?
I hope so. Yeah.
Oh my days! They just dropped the name of the show. Ariel, you're still doing wifely duties. Come on, stop it.
Yeah, I would say my rock bottom was. It's funny. In the car, there was still a part of me that thought, you know, maybe, you know, because we'd been doing therapy, like we kind of had talked about a variety of things, and my rock bottom was, you know, being in a. I think the moment for me is you like sent me a text that night that was like, I don't think we can get past this.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like my whole world crashed. I was like, oh, right. It's what I did wasn't like in our boundaries or in any sort of like what I did was unforgivable, and there's no hope. And I don't think I slept that night. I remember writing you a long letter, and it was ironic. That weekend I was at a wedding, and they like played our wedding song as their dance. And it was like black tie. Everyone's very fancy. I just like stepping away to cry every 20 minutes. Well, we only have a couple more minutes. I know we could keep on talking. Maybe we will, but
Are there any last minute questions we need to address before?
are we together?
We are not together. We live separately. We are devoted co-parents to our two beautiful, beautiful children. Wes, who is 7, and Finn, who is almost 5.
Are we dating other people?
I mean, I'm open to dating other people. I mean, yes, we are dating other people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Will you ever be returning to some of your past work?
What kind of work?
Like your old podcast?
No. No, I don't think so. No, I'm grateful for my time there, but no, I think that era is over.
So what's next for you? I know that, you're a creative person, that you've been doing a bunch throughout your career, and it's kind of like it must be exciting to kind of be like a solo artist now.
Yeah. I mean, these last 3 years have given me a lot of time to kind of express what I love. And I've gone back to pottery, which is something that I was really into in college. It started out as just something that I wanted to do, just to I don't know, kind of center myself as like a hobby. But I've gotten really into it, and I've been spending a lot of time in my own studio, and I'm starting up my own business.
Hey,
I know,
amazing.
I know.
Congrats.
Yeah, and we'll see where it takes me. Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna be like a public, do you want to continue being an influencer?
Probably not. For a couple of reasons. I mean, the first reason is that I really enjoy just making stuff, in my studio by myself. I know that sounds so silly,
No, it's not.
but I love just going into my pottery studio and just sitting at my wheel and getting so dirty and not filming it and just doing what I want to do and making mistakes and just sometimes making really shitty stuff and not having to tell anyone about it,
Mm-hmm.
And the second reason is that I feel like sometimes, and we don't have to put this part in, but it is a valid reason. I feel like
Already put it in. Oh,
sometimes people who are on the internet, there is another standard of beauty for people who are on the internet, and I don't want to hold myself to that standard anymore. I'm going to be 40 this year, and I want to look at myself in the mirror, and I want to say, fuck yeah. I don't want to look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh my God, are people going to notice that I don't look like I'm 30 anymore? Are people going to think that I look old? Are people going to think that that this is bad or this is bad or this is bad? I love looking in the mirror and being like, you know what?
I look
great.
good today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like good enough is good enough.
It's a refreshing place to be. Huh?
It's so great. It's so great to be like, I look awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, I don't look good enough. I don't love that place. And I think that being a public person, that you sort of have to look at yourself that way.
You don't.
Or at least that was my experience.
Oh, yeah.
And I choose not to do that.
Well, we fall into the trap of comparing ourselves a lot of the time. Not just looks wise. It could be money. It could be charm. It could be attitude. It could be athleticism. It could be so many things. You just pick your poison. But as it is, it's a poison. You just poison yourself slowly, and you don't take care of yourself. You don't do much no more. Or you obsessively do that, and then that's also bad. You have to be okay with yourself. Work the best that you can. Take care of yourself the best that you can. And be okay with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, I also like love creating, and instead of making pottery, I like making media. So there is this sort of inherent, like, if I'm going to be in it, yeah, you have to kind of think about what you're saying, what you look like, and yeah, it can be hard, but I'm happy for you.
Thanks.
What can I do as a co-parent and a friend to continue supporting you and to being? I mean, what do you want from me going forward?
Good question.
Just be authentic. Just be authentic with your audience. You know,
Like, what are your hopes and dreams for the future?
I just generally want to be the person that I genuinely believe that I am. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like for a long time I've lived. I've wanted to be one person, but I've lived the life of a person who isn't that person. And I'd like for those two things to be the same.
Same.
Yeah. And
What do you hope for the two of us?
Not much there.
I just want each of us to grow in the way that makes each of us happy. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be who you are, and I want me to be who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I want for you to feel like you can be who you are, and I want you to feel like you can do that without judgment. And I want the same for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that by kind of moving forward more as individuals, we'll each be able to kind of be the best version of ourselves and to kind of discover maybe parts of ourselves that are less to the forefront when you're like really in a relationship. But that's for us as individuals, but for us, as co-parents, I hope that we raise boys of honesty and integrity that are happy and feel loved. And I hope that we're a team who tells each other what's on our mind, even if it's not always hard to say or easy to hear. That's what I hope for us, is to have a parenting partnership based on in laughter, in respect, and in honesty.
Me too.
Thank you again to Ariel. Thank you for your
All right. That was This was the best thing Ned could do, honestly. I was going into this thinking this was going to be another shaming ritual for his wife. But I came out seeing that he really empowered his wife. He was genuinely sorry. And though there's hints of still pain in both of them, and there's hints of, I don't know, him saying, "Oh, the past was the past," and all those kind of things. He still needs more healing for that, and still needs more self-awareness for those kind of things. But all in all, he's grown a ton. And his wife, amazing woman, to give her ex-husband this opportunity to apologize to the world and apologize to her in front of the world and take that with grace. It's the strongest thing she could do, especially with all the pain that he caused her. This was really good. I respect Ned, and I think I'll be tuning into more of these things. Let's see what people are saying in the comments. To be a fly on the wall in the Try Guys office today. This video should be titled "Exploiting My Wife's Trauma to Make Myself Feel Relevant Again." Him calling it the scandal and her calling it your affair is all we needed to know. Just to be clear, I'm only watching to see what Ariel has to say. I'll not be watching / consuming anything else Ned puts out. Supporting Ariel is truly the only reason why we are here. Ned sounded like a neutral third party interviewing Ariel as if he has nothing to do with it. Why is he even here? Do not mistake the views from this video, so welcome back. My best to Ariel in the future. Damn. The bio on this channel says everyone makes mistakes. A mistake is accidentally tipping and spilling your drink. Cheating is a choice. Here saying my children or my kids instead of our kids is very telling. This should be called Ariel talking to a wall who gives no reaction for 1 hour. Alright, guys. Alright. Ned tries to guilt trip his wife into making him relevant. Did we watch the same video? Am I tweaking? It's clear that 3 years later, Ariel still has a lot of questions that hasn't been adequately transparent or apologetic. I love that Ariel's being straightforward and not being around the bush, letting Ned know everything and not sugarcoating it. Can we all grab this is the only episode of this we will watch, checking in that Queen Ariel is thriving, that's it. Ooh, this is awkward. It's Ariel being unflinchingly confident and sure of her own worth, and Ned laughing uncomfortably, waiting for her to declare that she still loves and forgives him, but slowly realizing that it's not going to happen. Ariel's a badass and deserves so. Alright, I think you guys are taking it way too far. They never said they're going to be back together, though he might have wished for that. He sounded genuinely sad from what I could see. And he apologized from the bottom of his heart. She's content with that. She was content with his apology. She said her piece. And they just both agreed to be friends and be cool with it. Now, who are we to sit here and say all these crazy things, man? Like, Jesus, acting like you the one who got cheated on. Crazy take. I know I might not even have my channel pop off, but that's my crazy take. I think Ned is genuinely sorry. I'll be tuning into what he has next coming up. All right, guys. My name's Dante. Please like, share, subscribe. This was a heavy video, but thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Take care, all right?